In the last video, we added a new column, this email column, and we learned how to remove it as well. In this video, we're going to learn how to update an existing row. Now, let's say we want to add an email to Mark's record. And as we know, it's blank right now. That is where we need to use a few different SQL commands. Now, the first thing we need to do is specify that we're going to update the table. And in this case, we use the update command. And then we have to specify the table that we're updating. And in this case, it's user data. And here is where we use the set command. And this is what allows us to update the email field in this row. Now, first we have to specify the column that we want to update, and of course it is the email column. And then we put in the value, which of course is mark@test.com. Now this is where it gets a little bit tricky. There's a second part to this. You have to use the where keyword. And basically that allows us to narrow down which row we in fact want to update. Obviously SQL doesn't know that, so we need to specify it. So think of this almost as if you're matching something. So what we do is we put in the name column, and then we put in Mark's name here. So it'll come down here and it'll match Mark, and then SQL will say, oh, you want to update this row. Once you get the match, then the data is updated. So that's why you use the where. So it just returns only the rows where it matches the particular string. And in this case, it's Mark. So let's go ahead and run this. And we'll hit enter, and we got our query OK message. Now, let's go ahead and make sure it happened, or it really happened. And there you can see the column in our row was updated, and we now have Mark's email address in there. Now, I would like to point out that if there was a previous email in here, we would have overwritten what was already there. Now, what if we want to append another email to this, but we don't want to overwrite the existing email address? Well, we have to do things a little bit differently. We use the same syntax as before. We use the update command. We use the set command. We have to specify the column, which is email. But here's where it's a little bit different. We put the original value right here, which was mark@test.com, and then in parentheses, we put the new value that we want to append. And we're using the where keyword again to match on all the rows that have Mark in it. So it's somewhat similar. The only difference here is that we're using these parentheses to append this value to the existing value that's already there. So let's go ahead and copy and paste this and make sure it works. Let's hit enter. And let's make sure it in fact did work. And it did. You can see now we have the mark1@test.com, and we've appended that to the original value. Okay, I will see you guys in the next lecture. Thank you.